Securing data in transit is fairly straightforward, actually. In other words, getting information securely from point A to point B has been done for a long time. I think the real problems become evident after that. So you can deliver to the cloud securely, then what? I mean, that's when the real issues start. Data at rest, from our perspective as a security provider, data at rest is the core of the problem, because if you can secure data at rest, secure the data when it's created, then the data can move around. The data can move around within your network. The data can leave your network. The data can be in the cloud and stay secured as long as you use the right kind of security. And so our belief is if you've got the proper data at rest security and do it such that that security can stay with the data, then it's okay when the data moves to the cloud because that security moves with it. Authentication, of course, is kind of underlies all of the other security, because you can apply all the security measures you can imagine, but until you've got reliable authentication and the authorization that goes with it, until you've got both of those, you do not have a secure way of managing your data, whether it's in the cloud or not. Of course, extending the authentication into the cloud, that's the secret to this, right? And we spend a lot of our own time at our company making sure that authentication is extendable into the cloud in the same way you used it in your own network. Encryption for us is the best way to secure for a whole bunch of reasons. But at the top of the list is, once you've encrypted it, you can now move it around. The security stays with the data wherever the data is. It's not made vulnerable by perimeter defenses or lack of perimeter defenses, because the security, in other words, the encryption goes with it. It means when you're done with the data, you don't have to worry about who has access to it. All you have to do is remove the keys to the data, and the data becomes useless. Encryption also underlies most of the ability to make security persistent so that it moves wherever you want the data to move. So encryption for us is the fundamental building block of a secure system that you need to protect the information, whether it's in your network or outside your network. Cloud security right now is being fundamentally driven by the technical community, which from our perspective is good. It means that the technologists for the providers, and of course cloud computing has lots of different flavors, they all have the common need for security, and they're all looking for the technical community to provide it. So the future of it, from our visibility, is they're looking at the security problems to solve first, but they are also looking at what's going to be needed in 2 and 3 and 4 years. And so what you're going to find is a technology community is working with the security community to provide authentication that extends to the cloud, to provide most of the transactional security that you need in the cloud. The transactional security are all the things that goes on in the network that you don't see. It's data being created, data being transacted upon. All of that needs security applied to it, just the same in the cloud as it did in your network. And so the cloud providers are realizing that they need those transactional security things applied in the cloud also. It's almost like saying, okay, we're going to get the plumbing in place. That's almost what it is all the things that you need from a structural security standpoint getting put into the cloud. And as they build that out, the cloud gets more and more secure. The security vendors some of them are ahead of the game, and we like to think we are, and others are catching up. But the security community is realizing that they're going to have those security measures out there, and not piecemeal, not proprietary. They're going to have to work together so that they've got common solutions that really provide legitimate, comprehensive security solutions out there. So I believe, to answer your question more specifically, next year you'll see some of these things in the cloud. You will see some of these things in the cloud that extends authentication into the cloud, authentication delivered from as a service, and you're going to see the progression from there to virtually all the authentication and security and encryption, by the way, encryption technologies in the cloud, such that 2 to 3 years from now the clouds will be as secure as the networks are. As a matter of fact, we believe 3 years from now, the cloud will be able to deliver security back to the enterprise. So you can go to the cloud and say, I'm a medium-sized company, I'm not SOX compliant, or I'm not compliant with the local regulations. I can get that from the cloud. It requires then security vendors, and speaking for SafeNet, this is exactly what we're doing, is making sure all of the security products we provide are going to be first cloud-enabled and then virtualized. Because as soon as they're cloud-enabled, the cloud is secure, and as soon as they're virtualized, then the cloud can deliver security back to the enterprise.